All right, folks, let's bring in our expert, Los Angeles, California, body language expert, forensic psychiatrist, trial expert witness, and columnist, Dr. Carol Lieberman. Thank you all. Just quickly here, and then we'll really dig into this. What do you think life in prison will be like for Paul Ferguson? Absolutely. Dr. Carol Lieberman, what's his life like after prison? Does he have a shot?
Well, what he really needs is to spend at least 1 year in an inpatient psychiatric facility for them to figure out all the complexities of his physical and psychological issues, problems, disorders. First of all, he does not look healthy. You know, I don't think that he was exactly being fed really well either, except for at work. Thank goodness he got that one meal. But and psychiatrically, you know, he seems like he might be on the autism spectrum as well. But it's rather confusing. His movement disorders, you know, of course he was wearing handcuffs, but it almost seemed to me that it might have something to do with tardive dyskinesia, which is a side effect of antipsychotic medication. So it made me wonder whether he ever had gotten that. But it's a complex combination of physical and psychological issues that really he would benefit from being in a psychiatric hospital for at least a year to figure out, not to mention, you know, getting over the torture of his mother and his guilt for what he did to his brother. But I'll tell you, I felt really worried watching him at the hearing because, you know, especially with the way the judge said about that he wasn't committing to not going past the guidelines in the higher end. And I don't think
it's up in the air. We don't know what's going to happen. And as the prosecutor just told us, now, Dr. Carol Lieberman, something else that we noticed on the Facebook page, that's really, there's no pictures of him with Timothy. But there are pictures of him with his other brother, who was referred to as G, the youngest brother. And there's videos of him going to his T-ball games. And it just seemed that the relationship was much different. What do you think of that? The fact that on the one hand with Timothy, he's torturing him, and then with his younger brother, he's like cheering him on at T-ball.
Yes, well, that shows that he has the capacity to love and to be close to family members, and how much his mother interfered. You know, his Facebook page is really interesting. He has friends, first of all. You know, I don't know whether they were real friends or Facebook friends, you know, but it was surprising to me to see how many friends he had. He also had a lot of pictures of food, which was kind of interesting, especially sweets, you know, cake and ice cream and all of that. So, I mean, and of course, as you said, pictures with the dog. Like, he needed that nurturance. He wanted to cuddle. You know, he cuddled his youngest brother. He cuddled his dog. So he does have loving feelings.
Gene Cirillo, Dr. Carol Lieberman. Dr. Lieberman, you were so correct. There was like this unusually high number of posts involving food.
Yes, you know, there could be a number of reasons for that. One, it's like, in a way, it's a way to show himself that he's the favored child, you know, that he gets to eat food. And of course, there was food where he worked and so on. I mean, you know, in a way, could that be, I mean, he's relishing that while Tim was not getting anything. Really, really sad.
Dr. Carol Lieberman, when I go through the whole page and I try to, like, what do I take away from the whole thing? For me, it was, and that raising no money tells me, oh, no one is paying attention to him, right? He's posting this stuff, nobody's looking at it. His life is very simple and it's very sad. Like, there's many pictures with his dog. There's a few things with his little brother. I just feel like he's on the headsets, playing video games, and that's his whole sad world.
Yes. Well, you know, food, it represents love. It's nourishment. And he's not getting nourishment from his mother. He's not getting enough love from her. And he's getting a questionable amount of food from her. So these pictures are in a way surrounding him on his Facebook page. And I don't think his mother has anything to do with his Facebook page because she doesn't pay enough attention to him to want to, watch what's on his page. But I think he was trying to surround himself. His dog, was loving. His younger brother was loving. It was kind of providing nourishment for himself on his page. And one thing I just want to mention that I think is important psychologically, he was saying that about having Stockholm syndrome. He doesn't fit the criteria for Stockholm syndrome. One of the main factors in that is that you don't turn against the people who were keeping you hostage or who were abusing you, and here he did.
Great insight tonight, Dr. Carol Lieberman. Always appreciate your very, very valuable time. We'll see you again really soon and have a great holiday season and a great new year.